Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have you ever heard a story that left you speechless? A story that wasn't just interesting but made you stop and think about your entire life? Today, you're about to hear 3 of those stories. Not fairy tales, not legends, but real stories of 2 powerful prophets. Prophet Dawud alayhis salamu and his son, Prophet Sulaiman alayhis salam. These weren't just kings. They were wise, just, and chosen by Allah. They made decisions that were so deep, so full of insight, that we still remember them over 1,000 years later. So sit back, open your heart, because these 3 astonishing judgments might just change the way you think, act, and live. Story 1. 2 women came to the Prophet of Allah, Dawud alayhis salam. They were fighting over one child. Each woman said, "This is my baby. The other one is lying." Now imagine. No witnesses, no cameras, no DNA tests. Just 2 women, 1 baby, and the truth hidden in the heart. Prophet Dawud alayhis salam listened carefully, and then, based on what he knew, he gave his judgment. He handed the child to one of the women. But Allah had given a special kind of wisdom to Sulaiman alayhis salam, his son, even though he was still young, and Sulaiman alayhis salam gently questioned the judgment. He asked permission to speak. Then he said something shocking. He called for a knife. He said, "If you both claim the baby is yours, then let's divide him in half. Each of you will get part." One woman gasped and screamed, "No! Don't do that! Give her the baby! Just don't hurt him!" But the other woman stayed silent. Or worse, agreed. In that moment, Sulaiman alayhis salam smiled. He knew the truth. He handed the child to the woman who begged to save his life, because only a real mother would give up her child to save his life. What a decision. Not based on anger, not based on logic alone, but based on deep understanding of the human heart. Story 2. Our second story takes place in the time of Prophet Dawud alayhis salam, a time of fairness and divine justice. One day, a man came to him with a complaint. He said, "O Prophet, I had a beautiful garden full of crops, but this man's sheep entered my garden and destroyed everything." The other man was honest. He said, "Yes, my sheep went into his field at night. They ruined his crops. Now, what should the punishment be?" Most people would say, he must pay. Take his sheep, fine him, punish him. But here's what happened. At first, Prophet Dawud alayhis salam ruled that the man with the sheep should give all his sheep to the man whose crops were destroyed, as payment for the damage. It seemed fair. But then, Sulaiman alayhis salam again offered a different view. He said, "Let the man with the sheep give his sheep temporarily to the farmer, so he can benefit from their milk and wool. And let the man who caused the damage work on the garden and grow the crops again. Once the crops are restored, they will return everything to each other." This wasn't just justice. This was mercy and wisdom. No one was left broken. Nothing was truly lost. Both men worked. Both men healed. What a beautiful way to solve a problem, not by destruction, but by restoration. Story 3. A story so small, yet so powerful. Prophet Sulaiman alayhis salam had one of the greatest armies in history. Not just soldiers, but birds, animals, even jinn. He was marching with his army one day, huge and mighty. But in his path, there was a small group of ants. One tiny ant saw the army coming and warned the others, "O ants, enter your home so Sulaiman and his army don't crush you without knowing." Can you imagine that? An ant speaking. And not only did she warn her people, but she gave excuses for the army, saying, "They might harm us without knowing." Now listen carefully. Prophet Sulaiman alayhis salam heard her. Allah had given him the ability to understand the language of animals. When he heard her words, he smiled. But not just a smile of pride. He thanked Allah. He said, "Rabbi awzi'ni an ashkura ni'mataka." "O my Lord, help me to be thankful for the blessings you've given me." This was the judgment of his heart. He didn't crush the ants. He didn't say, "I'm a king, I don't care." He stopped. He respected even the smallest creature, and he remembered Allah with gratitude. That is true leadership. Let's stop for a moment. These were not just stories. They were moments that showed how the heart of a prophet works. So let's ask, what do these stories teach us? They teach us that truth is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet and hidden in the heart. They show that justice is not always harsh. Sometimes it's merciful and gentle. They remind us that strength is not about how big you are. It's about how kind you can be to the smallest ones around you. How to use these lessons today. Now let's bring these stories to your life. In your home, are your kids fighting? Don't just yell or blame, look deeper. See who shows love, not just who speaks louder. Do you feel hurt by family? Remember the way Prophet Dawud and Sulaiman alayhi salam solved problems, with peace, not punishment. In your work, has someone made a mistake? Instead of firing them or getting angry, ask, can we restore the damage? Can we grow again? That's what Sulaiman alayhi salam did. In your heart, are you growing in success? Becoming wealthier or more respected? Never forget the ant. Never stop thanking Allah. And always stay humble. Because pride can destroy. But gratitude builds everything. My dear brothers and sisters, these stories are over 1,000 years old. But their lessons are for today, and they are for you. So ask yourself, am I judging with mercy? Am I listening with my heart? Am I remembering Allah when no one is watching? If not, now is the time to begin. Because in every moment of life, there is a chance to follow in the footsteps of the prophets. You don't need to be a king. You don't need to rule an army. You just need a heart that seeks justice, shows mercy, and stays humble before Allah. Before we end this video, let's make a simple dua together. Allahumma rzuqni hikmata Sulaiman wa adil Dawud wa qalban shakiran laka da'iman. O Allah, grant me the wisdom of Sulaiman, the justice of Dawud, and a heart that is always grateful to you. Ameen. If this video touched your heart, then don't let it stop here. Share it, live it, teach it, because the stories of the prophets are not just for listening, they are for changing lives. Until next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.